Did you just see a spirit walk by, or?
No, my it's like I think it's kind of storming outside,
Oh,
and I have one of those window fans because my apartment gets so ungodly hot in fucking February. But the wind just like hit the side of my building and made it shake, and the windows were shaking.
you want to know what the sad thing is? As soon as you said fucking February, all I could think was, is that why Valentine's Day is in February?
Yes, it's the alliteration.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
But Casey, guess what?
Guess what? What?
What? It's Millennial Monologue with your hosts.
Morgan and Casey.
What? Who? Who are these people? You know, just your friendly neighborhood criminals.
I don't know what just happened with my eyes, but from the angle I looked at the screen, it looked like the arm you had like lifting your mug. It looked like somebody like their arm came out from behind you. It looked like someone else's arm. It was very alarming.
Oh yeah, did you not know I'm two people in one? That's how I do everything that I do.
That makes sense. Ah.
Everyone, welcome to the crazy that is Wednesday's Hump Day.
There
Even though you're listening to this probs on a Thursday, maybe a Friday, or maybe you're enjoying your weekend with some monologuing. That's fine too.
are no rules.
Totally approve. Well, we have that one rule. What's the one rule, Casey?
Don't hurt people or animals,
Yes.
and give us money.
Yeah. That's all one rule. Just the one. We have that written out on paper, so it's official.
There's a semicolon.
Mm-hmm. Just remember that. Oh, and one more thing, Casey.
Yes, Morgan.
Cue theme music. That was a good time.
My cat's judging me.
As cats always do. That's what you get cats for, to judge you.
I don't know if you can hear his little noises.
I cannot.
Oh. Oh well.
Is he purring?
No, he's very strange. He doesn't really meow. He just kind of
Barks?
he does this like weird half meow thing, and he's gonna step on my keyboard, I bet you.
You know, Simone also does like a weird half meow. Like it's not like a full cat meow. Maybe they're like breeding that out.
Well, I know that if it's just two adult cats around each other, they don't meow, they communicate in different ways. And only kittens meow, or like for them to communicate to kittens, they meow. So like when your cat meows at you, they think you're a big dumb cat baby that doesn't understand what they're saying.
Oh, well, that makes sense. So when Simone sees a ghost at night at 3 a.m., she meows at it because she thinks it's a giant cat. She's
Trying to tell you, but you didn't understand her the first time because
Got it.
you're a dumb giant cat.
Okay. So if she ever like bites the back of my neck, I should know that she's just trying to take me to another place. It's
Probably.
not
Yeah.
trying to eat me at all. It's fine.
No.
It's all for love.
Yes. Cats are very loyal.
Happy February, everyone. The month of love, quote unquote.
The month of chocolate.
Yes.
I like that
Chocolate
better.
on sale. February is the month that comes after January where everyone stops their resolutions and they just engorge themselves on chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
You got that right.
And Black History.
Is it Black History Month?
It is, and it's kind of a slap in the face because it's the shortest month.
Ooh, but it's a leap year this year, so they get an extra day and still not a full
Woo!
month.
No.
Sorry. Damn, can't believe I didn't know that. Usually there's like advertisements and stuff that pop up on social that keep me quote unquote woke.
Yeah, it's Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Sorry I have to share it with Valentine's Day, which is like the shittiest national holiday there is.
This just reminds me when, Morgan, you're going to Vegas soon, and I told you that you need to go to the Mob Museum.
Yes. I'm going to write that down now.
Yes, they have. Oh man, do I want to spoil this for you? I'm going to spoil it for you.
Spoil it.
They have the wall from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. They have the actual wall with the bullet holes and everything.
Is there blood on it?
No, there's paint.
Oh.
They like accented some of the bullet holes.
Well, that just doesn't seem real.
some dude bought it and like had the wall hanging in like over the men's urinals in some nightclub, and then this museum was like, we want that, and then they bought it, and
then they bought
now
it.
it's on display.
As are all things that involving a massacre. For some reason, we feel the need to put them out there and be like, look at this terrible thing that happened, and admire it.
Human beings are dark as shit.
Dun, 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 dun. Good job, America.
Yeah. Kind of just a little comment I want to make, also in honor of Black History Month, and talking about mobs. It's so funny to me, especially after going through that museum a couple months ago, that as a society, we glorify all these like Irish and Italian mobsters and like romanticize that horrible, horrible culture. And then like while we're walking around with shirts that say like all these, why can I not think of words? All these like mobsters' names on them. And then we're condemning young Black men for trying to survive in their neighborhoods by joining gangs. It's just a very interesting contradiction.
Yeah. Yeah, it
because of systemic unconscious racism.
But you're right. Some people have to join gangs to survive. I mean, it's the same thing in prisons. Like, people who are like wrongfully convicted have to like join a gang, and like people have Nazi tattoos or whatever, not because they believe in it, but because they do it to survive. So or the people who do believe in it, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, I didn't say there weren't people like that out there, but I just wanted to make a note of that.
Deny the existence of Nazis.
Nazis don't exist. Now come join our scientific cult. Yes.
That was sarcasm, in case people didn't know.
I'm not a Scientologist, although I do believe science is real. I don't think that's the root of Scientology. So
I don't think so. I think they're a little different.
Are you telling me that Scientology, like sermons, aren't people just coming together with their beakers and their little test tubes, just shouting, "Science is real, hallelujah! Science is real, hallelujah!"
No, Morgan, they are not TED Talks. Those are very different.
Einstein, yes! And the Lord said E = MC squared.
No, they're not all climate scientist groupies. They're not.
Damn it.
They believe that little tiny aliens live in your body or something.
You know what, Casey? I don't know how to tell the church that I need to leave then, because I already signed the waiver.
You and John Travolta, my friend.
It's fine. I also can't pronounce names. Anyways, we're not here today to talk about racism and how ignorant I am as a white female in this civilization. And in Scientology, apparently. We're here to talk about what America loves, which is the Super Bowl. Specifically, commercials.
Yes. We're not going to talk about how the NFL and other organizations like the NFL exploit people of color. But yeah, we all love Super Bowl commercials.
Damn, we're really on like a race point here, aren't we? It's fine. It's a big problem in our country. I recognize that. We're going to talk about the fun thing about Super Bowl and what all millennials, I feel like, love about the Super Bowl, and why we even record the Super Bowl is commercials. Actually, I should mention before we continue talking about it, I learned recently that the words super and bowl, when put together, are like a registered / trademark name. So in all technicality, we can possibly be sued if we mention it in our sentence when publicizing it.
Really?
Yeah. Like even radio stations have to watch saying it. Like, I'm sure they've never sued anyone for it, but I guess there's potential for it. So let's call it the Ope Bowl.
The Ope Bowl. Fucking capitalist, greedy people.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you can say it when you're talking to your friends, but apparently, like, media-wise, You have to have permission.
That blows my mind, but also not really.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the football finale happened.
Football finale. Ooh, that's what we should call it from now on.
I saw that somewhere of like making fun of theater people who don't watch football, and they were like, the finale is on.
That's fine. I mean, I recorded the football finale, and Jared was like, "Are you gonna fast forward through the commercials?" It's the whole reason why I recorded it.
This is the one day a year where everybody wants the commercials.
Yeah. Are you crazy? Like, do you not want to see what's new and up and coming? Do you not want to see the new Hummer EV that I didn't know was going to happen?
I mean, literally when I got invited to a quote unquote football finale party,
I like this.
I literally said, like, I'm there for the commercials. That's it.
Yeah. That's the only fun part. I mean, technically the score, you can check at any time. So, and all the cool plays, yeah, those are all going to be on a YouTube video within the next hour of them happening. So,
right.
Commercials, though, are sometimes hard to find. You can't always find them. I mean, you usually get a list of like the top 10 to 15 or something like that. But the really small, good ones, you can't find.
Well, and also, like, sometimes in the context of the whole night, it's funnier. Like the whole thing they did with Charlie Day, love of my life, where it's throughout the whole game. He just keeps coming back. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. They've definitely, from what I can say is like they've definitely made commercials more interactive with the audience. Because, like, they went from Doritos making super hilarious commercials to, like, opening up to the public, you know, to, like, enter their videos. And then they had the whole Charlie Day thing, who, like, was throughout the whole finale of football. Came and he was like, later? Is later now? Is now later?
Later, Charlie.
And then this year they also had, this was specifically for Texas, so I thought that was cool. Well, I guess... I don't think Texas is the only state anymore that has an H-E-B, which is a grocery store. For those of you that don't know, it's a giant grocery store with many fun things. I think it's still Texas, but anyways, they had a commercial for H-E-B where it asks you to download the app, and then in the app you have the chance to win a lifetime of groceries. But in order to enter, you have to pay attention to the commercial and like select the items that you see that were in the commercial. I was like,
that's genius.
What? Yeah. So not only do they get you to download the app, they get you to enter a sweepstakes and watch their commercial multiple times to make sure that you didn't miss anything.
I hope the people who came up with that got promoted.
Yeah.
Or at least a bonus. Good. That's genius.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I Spy in the football finale. So that was one that I really enjoyed. And I feel like that's become a theme to get the younger generation to watch the TV, since a lot of us don't have cable anymore.
Yes. And also, you really got to capture our attention.
Yeah.
I read about a thing, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like if your stimulus is low and doesn't require a lot of attention, it's like how I can't be the only one who does this. Like when you're watching something on Netflix and you're like, I'm going to go on my phone too. So if your stimulus doesn't require that much attention, you want to do more. But like if it requires a lot of attention, like vice versa.
Right. Yeah. I was on my phone during the actual game. When the commercials came on, phone down.
Yes. Wasn't there a Trump commercial too?
A Trump commercial?
I don't remember seeing it, but I remember seeing people being like, why are people surprised that they're showing a Trump commercial? Like,
was it about his interview?
Or maybe like a campaign thing? I don't remember. I know there was fucking Mike Bloomberg's everywhere. I know there was at least one of his commercials, and he's trying to play to people whose families have been victims of gun violence, which is a very sad thing and unfortunately is way too prevalent.
Yeah.
but I just don't believe him.
I don't either. I mean, I really don't like the campaign commercials either. I get that they're trying to appeal to everyone at home, but honestly, it just doesn't. I just fast forward through those. I can't. They're either smearing another candidate or they're talking about something that I already know is an issue, and talking to me about the issue isn't doing anything about the issue. So, I mean, all of us are technically woke in the fact that we know there are shootings and our economy is not the greatest and we're job things and a lot of, I mean, there's obvious issues that they just bring up and you're like, yeah, I know. Oh, I know immigration's a problem. I know the border is a problem. I know that you want to build a wall and I just want to punch you in the face. Okay.
Yeah.
But I hate the campaign commercials. I think they're pointless.
From what I have noticed, I feel like they've gotten less ugly over the past few years. It's less like directly like, so-and-so is a criminal.
Yeah.
Even though they would have full reign to do that right now. But we won't get into that today.
No.
Slide off my soapbox.
We keep getting on top of this political soapbox. It's a very slippery slope.
It's very hard today.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. Keep dropping that bar in the shower. Well,
I guess to give it some context of why it's so hard today for people listening on not today, Trump was acquitted on both charges of impeachment, so he is not going to be impeached.
It's bittersweet for me because I don't feel like he deserves to be our president, but I also don't want shitty McShitface to be our president either.
AKA Mike Pence. I like shitty McShitface.
I mean, as a woman, he just doesn't appeal to my political belief system. Not that Trump is better, but, you know.
I don't know. I do think we're getting so political. I'm going to stop.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Politics over. We are taking that bar of soap and throwing it away. Off of that soapbox has dwindled down to like that tiny little bit that has no actual use anymore. Just
we're drying it off.
After
we slipped off of it.
Tossed it. I took my razor and I shredded it. That's what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's gone. Politics are over. We want to talk about the football finale commercials.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about our hands down favorite commercial, which appealed to many generations. The Jeep commercial.
With Bill fucking Murray.
The best. It was Jeep knew that they like had this in the bag. They were like, fuck yes.
Yes.
This is beautiful. They had the original actors. They probably didn't have the original groundhog, but that's okay. I'll forgive them. It's fine. I don't know how long groundhogs live, but
I don't either.
I just the Sonny and Cher song is just so iconic. I can't listen to it without thinking about Groundhog Day. And if you've never seen the movie Groundhog Day, please go educate yourself. Well, that is just a classic.
They did not have Andie MacDowell, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Which, kind of a bummer, but.
I mean, it's alright.
It's okay.
It's alright. But that's like, that right there is like promotional genius because Jeep is definitely, I would say Jeep is really big with millennials, like the brand itself. I don't know why. Casey, you would probably be able to explain it, but for some reason, people like these Jeep things.
I mean, I've always loved Jeeps. When I was growing up, my dad had Jeeps, and I feel like they just last my dad's also like, has to be American made. He's in a union. But I feel like they last a really long time. I feel like they're really reliable. I mean,
I thought people liked them because, like, for me, they're always those vehicles that have the tire on the back, and then people have the really cool tire covers. And, like, I almost always saw, like, a hippie one or, one with a beard and a cigarette or something like that. It's just like, okay. Or, you know, you have Jeeps that you can take the top off of and that you can basically drive with no doors on. And
yeah, when when I'm like rolling in the dough, my second car is gonna be a big ass Jeep Wrangler that I can like do all that shit with. But
Of course.
I have an older Liberty right now. I'll have had him for 10 years this year. But yeah, my little tire cover has like the smiley face with the American flag bandana and the 5 o'clock shadow, and I love it. Also,
Yes.
pause. I Googled how long do groundhogs live.
Mm-hmm.
In the wild, it's only 6 years. In captivity, they can live up to 14. So yeah, it was unfortunately definitely a different groundhog.
Sad. R.I.P. OG Groundhog.
Yeah.
That's okay. We still enjoy the movie. It's funny though, because like it's definitely a commercial that they built with the purpose of like pulling in the older generation, but you know, fancy new car is gonna appeal to people our age.
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening to a podcast today actually, and there's a guy on there who's like a year older than me, I think. And he was like, I've never seen Groundhog Day or heard of it. And I'm just like, look, Bill Murray is an icon.
Truly.
That movie is just, I don't know, it's just one of those movies that like you have to see just because you have to.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've seen it.
I haven't either. Yeah. Yeah.
And like this holiday season, I went out of my way to watch Scrooged. Oh, have you never seen that?
I think I've seen that. But
It's like
probably been a
the
while.
Christmas Carol story, but it's got Bill Murray.
Then yeah, I've definitely seen it. I've probably seen the majority of Bill Murray movies. I definitely rewatched what was it? Caddyshack recently.
I actually saw that for the first time a couple years ago.
Oh my God.
Isn't that also a groundhog? Or is that
No, it's a gopher.
A gopher.
A funny gopher. Definitely an animated gopher. But that's off traffic. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was our, I think we agree that was our top commercial
Yes.
to watch.
I
Yes.
want to drive around with a groundhog in the passenger seat of my Jeep.
Like
And the
right on the
end
steering wheel. Like
In the end where he has him in like the little baby Bjorn and he's on skis and he's like, I don't know where we're going. I was following you.
I love that they had like all the original people too that just like made my life. Like I was like, oh my God, this is the best one. Especially since there were like other commercials that hinted at old movies, but they didn't have all the originals. And I was like, it's not the same. Like the Walmart one that had like Bill and Ted. But where was Keanu Reeves? The fact, dude. You can't have Bill without Ted. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, Keanu.
Love him. Beautiful man. There was one other one that was really good that was worth mentioning. Let me just Google it real quick because I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head, and my dogs are fighting anyways, so.
Speaking of Google, did the Google commercial make you sob?
I didn't watch them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like recorded. We didn't start watching until about an hour after the game had started. And so I recorded it, and as soon as I saw a sad commercial, I fast forwarded. I was like, I'm not crying today.
They also had a series of commercials for Tide that had Charlie Day.
Yeah.
And I love Charlie Day. Like, I want to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's married and I know he has children, but, like, I love him so much. But I have boundaries. I respect boundaries. But yeah, it was just this reoccurring thing of, like,
Later? Is now later?
Right? For those of you who didn't watch, the woman who plays Stevie on Schitt's Creek was also on it, and I love that show too. She like accidentally stains his shirt with like some Super Bowl food, and he's like, I have to get it out, and they're like, no, later. So he keeps coming back in different commercials. He's like, is it later? And they're like, no, later. And then towards like the very end of the Super Bowl, he's super old, and Stevie is like, oh, you got the stain out. And he's like, yeah, it's later. And then she stains him with ice cream.
That was great. Hilarious.
In the Jason Momoa one, I found very disturbing.
That was terrifying. I never, like, he started to take off his arms, and I was just like, no.
And then he took off his legs, and then he took off his abs, and then he took off his hair, and it was just... And then Lisa Bonet was helping him bench press.
which was cute, but also it was just wrong. It's just
It was
that was
uncomfortable.
that was way too much CGI. Like way too much. Oh, this is the one. The Bryan Cranston one with The Shining and the Mountain Dew.
I loved that one.
That was so like it was so close to the original, and the little flash at the end with Bryan Cranston as like the twins like looking at each other was so fucking creepy. It was so open creepy. It was just like perfect.
And then the flood of blood at the end is just Mountain Dew.
Yeah, dude. And like when he stuck his face through the door though, he looked just like Jack Nicholson. Like it was terrifyingly similar.
That's because Bryan Cranston is such an amazingly gifted actor, and I don't think
Yes.
people respect him enough.
It was so good. That was the other one I was trying to think of though. It was the Bryan
Yes.
Cranston one.
That one
That
was really,
Groundhog
really good.
Day. They were
Yeah.
pretty high up there. And Doritos failed us this year. Sorry to say, but it wasn't.
I don't
that
even
great.
remember their commercial.
See, Cheetos was more memorable than Doritos,
Oh yeah, they can't touch this with MC Hammer.
which was really creepy when MC Hammer came out of the ground. Just
And then the picnic blanket became his parachute pants.
yes. The other one I personally really liked because I love Rick and Morty was the Rick and Morty commercial for Pringles.
That one was really, really funny. That one was really good.
We're stuck in a Pringles commercial. How do we get out? There's a bunch of Mortys. Oh, you stuck the Cool Ranch with the sour cream and onion.
It creates a whole new flavor.
It creates a whole new flavor. It creates a whole new flavor. Love it. I love Rick and Morty. I'm so glad that they did that. Makes me so happy.
You know, another sad one. You may not have watched it, but I'm glad that they did it. There was a WeatherTech commercial so it was for WeatherTech, but it was also for the University of Wisconsin Veterinary School, because the guy, and I heard the backstory on this from one of the people I was watching the Super Bowl with. The backstory is the guy who owns WeatherTech, his dog got really, really sick and had a tumor and was about to die. And the veterinary school at University of Wisconsin saved him. And so this guy was like, yeah, I'll spend like $6 million on a commercial so that more dogs can get saved. Yeah.
Yeah, I read about that. I thought that was so cool. That's amazing. People are amazing.
Yes.
You want to know what commercial I feel like kind of failed, but it also had its moments, was the Ellen DeGeneres one with Alexa.
I like that one.
It was like good, but also I feel like it went on maybe a little too long.
Yeah, like maybe if they had two less of the past Alexa things.
It would have been the perfect. But I do like the little bottle thing at the end where they're like, do 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 do.
Yes.
Do 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 do. That was great. That did make me laugh. It brought it back, but you know, I was starting to lose it there for a little bit.
I love when they tie it back.
Yes. Rope it in.
All right, so another one that I really enjoyed, and Morgan, I know you really enjoyed this one too, because it was an environmental statement, and also I feel like really appealed to millennials because we're the ones trying to tell everyone that the Earth is hungry and it needs a Snickers because it's just not itself.
It does. I like super applaud Snickers for that commercial because it was short and to the point. And it was also killing off the people who are killing our population.
Yes.
And I loved it. I loved it. I know it was aimed at like killing millennials, but still.
We're not the problem.
No. No, but I think I love that it like ended with dropping a giant Snickers into the earth because the earth is hungry for nutrients that we can't give if we have a hole in our outer hemispheres.
Our ozone.
Yeah. So I loved it. It made a climate change statement and a statement about people taking selfies, you know, next to giant holes in the ground. You will fall.
Yeah. Too many people died trying to take cool selfies. It's not worth it.
It's not. So I love it because it made an actual situation hilarious, but like also brought attention to it.
Yes.
Fucking
Great
funny.
balance. High five, Snickers.
Yes. Now I want a Snickers. Thanks for that.
I can't eat them, but oh man. So what was another one you liked, Morgan?
So another one that I really liked was the Bud Light Post Malone one. I am not really a Bud Light fan. I'll just say that. I've never had the seltzers that are advertised in the commercial, but they use Post Malone and like stuff from the movie Inside Out, which is a great movie. Makes you laugh, makes you cry. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Like they made Inside Out gangster.
Well, they were all mini inside Post Malone face tattoo.
Yeah. But they're like office looking people and they
I loved
have
it.
tattoos everywhere. And it was just funny. I mean, Post Malone appeals to us, and older generations probably looked at it and they were like, "Oh my God, this guy is covered in tattoos. What the fuck is wrong with him?" But it made me laugh, and that's the only thing I care about, because Post Malone smiling is just strange.
It's so pure.
It is. It is.
But like a thought I just had was, I wonder when marketing departments are creating these things and the ad departments are creating these things, do they look at it through a separate lens of like, how memeable is this commercial? Because almost immediately that little bit where she's like, "We're rich, we can get both." Like, I feel like that instantly became a meme.
You're right. Yeah.
And so I wonder if people also look at it through that lens.
Yeah. You've got to make a commercial that not only makes people want to watch it when it's on, but makes people want to create something out of it for like free advertisement for them.
Yes, because I feel like so many of the commercials we liked during the football finale had almost a classicness to them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the Post Malone one will always be funny. I feel like the Charlie Day Tide one will always be funny. There were very few that you can't take out of this time, put it in another time, and it wouldn't be funny, I guess.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's something that you can advertise forever, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
Yeah, I guess kind of to segue on to one that I don't feel like is as classic, because this would not have been possible even 2 years ago or 5 years ago, was Smart Pack with John Krasinski.
Yeah. I feel like for me personally, it was kind of a hit and miss, because like at first I was like, "Oh, this is pretty funny," and then at one point they start to lose their accents. You're just kind of like, okay. And then John Krasinski comes back in, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I'm back in it. We can do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an example of repetitive comedy.
Yeah.
It hits a very particular audience. I heard a lot of good reviews about it, but
yeah, I feel like it would also I feel like it would be even funnier for people who live in Boston or who have had to park in Boston.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Maybe Jared will call into this podcast and tell us about Boston.
Did he even have a car in Boston?
No, he didn't.
Not relevant.
Boo. Yeah. No, but it was that's one that's just going to be funny like this year, and then probably people won't watch it more than 5 times before it gets a little old. So
yeah,
it was just funny enough to be in the football finale.
And eventually all cars will have Smart Pack, and they'll just drive themselves, and we'll have grids where people don't have to drive anymore.
And it's weird because like car commercials are always, they're like never the same, and you would think they are, because I mean they're pretty much selling the same thing just in a different body. But then you have something completely different, like what Kia did with the talking to my younger self commercial thing. That was
Yes, and I was curious as to how that related to Kia at all.
hmm yeah.
I mean, I love that they gave him a platform to talk about that. I think that was really awesome.
Right.
But
It
also, it's like,
it didn't quite match. I think it was supposed to like Kia is supposed to give you that like sense of safety or whatever. I think is what they were trying to portray. But you're right. I'm not totally sure. Like, yeah, it was a good message, and nobody knew that about him as a player and how he grew up. So it's kind of like opening your eyes as far as, what kind of world people have to live in. Um, but that you also shouldn't give up because you can do anything if you put your mind to it. You put the
right.
work into it. Just so everyone knows, he's a millennial, so made his way to the top.
Basically proves our points about everything.
Boom, podcast done. Drop the pod. So yeah, that's it. It was completely in contrast to Smart Pack.
Yes.
It wasn't funny, but it was educational. But also, it doesn't make me want to buy a Kia.
Heartwarming.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it did not make me want to buy a Kia.
Sorry,
But,
Kia.
right. I feel like something else that applied to our generation in a totally different way. So I feel like, especially for our generation, I don't know really anyone who has not watched Stranger Things, and Stranger Things has just given us a cultural resurgence of love for Winona Ryder.
Mm-hmm.
And Squarespace was genius and capitalized that with one of the funniest commercials, I think, was Winona Ryder in Winona creating a Squarespace website about Winona.
It was beautiful.
And it was so genius. It literally made me utter, as I was watching this, why do I feel like this happened in real life?
It most likely did. I feel like I don't know what kind of a person she is like in real life, but with how she kind of has acted towards everything and all of her characters, I feel like this definitely happened in real life, and somebody really caught her doing that.
I
And they were
really hope
like,
so.
"We're gonna make a commercial."
Yeah. Like the cop who really checked in on her in real life in Winona went home, told his wife who works for Squarespace and was like, "Honey, this happened to me today. It was super weird." And she was like, "Oh my God, I
A
know."
commercial.
Yeah. That's what I feel like happened.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she just seems like too happy to be there, you know? I would be too. I mean, if
Yeah.
I had a city. But yeah, that was perfect. It was great. It made me laugh. Um Talking on the capitalizing on like popular things of today though, I think one that kind of failed in that or tried a little too hard is the Peanuts commercial with Mr. Peanut and the baby Peanut off of Baby
Yeah.
Yoda.
I don't really know why they decided to kill off Mr. Peanut. I don't really
Mhm.
understand the reasoning behind that. I think it was just for like shock and awe.
Right.
Kill him with fire.
To get
Uh,
people interested again. I feel like it's kind of the same. I don't watch Family Guy, but I remember the whole controversy over when they killed off the dog Brian, and like people flipped their shit and stopped watching. And then once they brought
okay.
Brian back, everything was fine. But like it caused such an uproar that people like started searching Family Guy again, just to like see what happened and how we got back. And so I feel like maybe that's what they're trying to do. But bringing in the baby Peanut to capitalize off of Baby Yoda, I feel like was a little bit of a swing and a miss because people
Yeah.
rolled their eyes just like that. Casey just rolled her eyes all the way in the back of her head.
I do that often. uh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just that's what's interesting to me and what must be so challenging for people in marketing, which I feel like has really boomed with our generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Especially with
because
like
there's so
design
many
and
more
graphics.
ways to market.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I feel like that's one of the big challenges of walking that line of what makes it a Squarespace Winona commercial and what makes it eye rolling at Baby Peanut. You know?
Yeah. There were some people, like I did see some memes, so they got some memes out of it, but it was the comparison between Baby Peanut and Baby Yoda, and most of them were like, I would drop Baby Peanut into the Grand Canyon for Baby Yoda. You know, like it was
just like... Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah. But they got the advertisement. They got people talking about it. Maybe people craving some peanuts. I don't know.
That's true. You know what else I think brands capitalize on during the football finale is when you see a commercial for food or beer, in this case, makes you want it. Makes you send out the DD to go get you some Michelob Ultra because John Cena and Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, I would love to go on a workout with John Cena and Jimmy Fallon. Like that seems amazing. Or like to have the Roots like playing for you as you're running down the track. That's what I need in my life.
Also, so good. My uncle, his name is Mike, but when he was younger, his nickname was Michelob because at my grandpa's poker nights when he was a kid, he's the youngest of 3. My grandpa and his buddies would be like, get us a Michelob, and then Mike just turned into Michelob and just devolved from there.
Such a weird name.
It's a very weird name, but it always makes me think of my Uncle Mike.
So Jimmy and John were drinking your Uncle Mike? Is that what you're trying to tell me here?
Morgan, I can't process this right now. I don't have a therapist, so please.
Okay, all right. I'll leave cannibalism off the table for now. No, I think that commercial specifically is one of those ones that takes two people from different that have different audiences, because John Cena with WWE and all that fun stuff, and then you have Jimmy Fallon, who's got everyone who ever watched SNL, and is he the Late Show now? I think he's just Late Show, right?
Or is he the Tonight Show?
Tonight Show, yes, you're right. That he's the Tonight Show. Yeah,
they're all basically the same.
I know. Late Show, Tonight Show, Tomorrow Night Show,
The Late Show,
Yesterday Night Show,
The Midday Show,
The Good Night Moon Show. Yeah. Too many night shows.
The Why Are We Still Awake Show.
What the hell are we doing here show, and the Twilight Zone. So yeah, lots of interesting commercials this year.
Yeah, really makes you think about also, like you mentioned with the Jeep commercial with Bill Murray, how it pulled different generations together, but also it makes you think, do millennials have the most buying power, I guess, and so are we advertised to the most, or it's just very interesting to think about.
Yeah, that is, because thinking about how the car commercials were made, I feel like they were definitely geared towards people more our age who would feel more emotions toward some sort of sad sob story or Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they have to think about their target audience and who's watching the football finale nowadays and what are they watching.
Yeah, if anybody listening to this is in marketing or is in advertising and just wants to educate us, we would love to know how you go about your job.
Yeah. I'd love to know how the commercial process works.
Yeah. Or even just short video marketing that's just on social media. Because a lot of brands, I mean, this doesn't apply to the football finale, but a lot of brands don't even use traditional marketing anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. And I mean, like you're saying, maybe they are trying to gear towards something that just makes it memorable, and that whether it's backlash or hilariousness, people are going to share it on social media and make fun of it or make memes out of it, or feed Ryan Gosling cereal, or
or buy WeatherTech because you want to support dogs being healthy.
Yeah, or just cry your eyes out. There were so many sad commercials this year, although nothing gets me going like that Budweiser commercial that I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago at least, and with the horse, and I cried so hard. I'm crying about it now. I'm just thinking about the baby horse, and they like left it, and then they came back for it, and I was
Yeah.
like, poor Clydesdale.
Wasn't it also Budweiser did a commercial, I think also for the football finale a couple years ago, with the Labrador puppy. And they were like, "Don't drink and drive." See, Morgan's crying. She's like, crying.
Right.
Because they're like, they don't know why you didn't come home. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so emotional. But that was like the only commercial that I watched that I was like crying. And now they have all these Google commercials and the sad life story commercials, and you're just kind of like, ugh, this is what the real world is like, and I can't take it. I just need the football finale to make me laugh. Same though. Same. But this was good. It was good to evaluate all of these, because I mean, usually I just watch them and let them go.
Also, can we take a hot second to talk about Demi Lovato?
Yes, we can.
Because I think she killed it.
She did.
She really killed it. I mean, my heart belongs to the late great Whitney Houston for now and for always. But Demi did a good job.
I'll just say that all female performers for the football finale did amazing.
Yes.
Really, really enjoyed it. And I never really enjoy the halftime show, but this one kept me looking the whole time.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
This is amazing. I loved it. I mean, Beyonce was good too. I'll say that. But
yeah, I did love Lady Gaga.
Yes. Yeah, that too.
But yeah, J-Lo and Shakira just did such a good job. And J-Lo's daughter, and the symbolism with Puerto Rico, and oh my God.
You know what though? The one thing that I hate is that J-Lo wore something so skimpy, because all I could think about was, damn, if I don't look that good at 50, why am I here? Like, she just had, I know she just did the Hustler movie, and so like she has a rockin' bod anyways, but I was like, ugh, she's so gorgeous. I can't.
Yeah. Literally, the people I was watching it with were like, how old is Shakira? How old is J-Lo? And so people were Googling it, and they were like, Shakira's 43, J-Lo's 50. And I just kind of was like, well, she doesn't drink. That's a big part of the reason why she looks this good. And everyone was like, oh. Like, as we're all sitting around drinking beer and eating garbage food.
Still, though, the way she held herself on that pole, I was like, I can't even do a plank for like 15 seconds. What the hell?
Yeah.
It was so good. Demi was amazing. She beautiful voice as always. I've always thought she had a really, really pretty voice. And yeah, Shakira and J-Lo were the perfect mix of culture, which we needed at one of our halftime shows. And they also have amazing voices as well. So
especially just to have two Latino women do it in Miami.
Yeah.
Like that was very fitting. And I'm blanking on her name and I feel so bad, but the gospel singer who sang, wasn't it God Bless America at the beginning? She did a really, really good job.
I think I missed that.
It was like at the very top.
Okay. Yeah, my recording didn't start until after that then.
No. Your TiVo was like, this isn't important.
That's not. Whatever. I was binging Netflix and I didn't want to stop my show, so I just recorded the football finale. You know, priorities.
Yep.
So yeah, Casey, this was good. This is really good.
Yeah.
I think we did good. If our audience thinks it sounds good, you should go follow us, like us, and subscribe to us on all of the social media platforms. Casey, what kind of platforms you got for me?
You can find us on Instagram at Millennial Monologue Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Millennial Mopod. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor.fm under Millennial Monologue.
Yep.
You can find us on YouTube too. You can also find us on Facebook, Millennial Monologue. Millennial Monologue Podcast, maybe? Millennial Monologue?
I think Millennial Monologue Podcast is our username, because Some little bitch stole it before us.
Ugh.
But it's fine. It's fine. We're Millennial Monologue Podcast. It's all good.
But yeah, you can find us on all those places. But yeah, talk to us, slide into our DMs. We want to know what you think. We want to know what you want to hear.
Yeah. And now that we're on more podcast networks, you should like review us. Like hit the 5 stars. If you want to hit anything below 5 stars, don't rate us, please. We only accept 5 stars.
We are a 5-star service.
Yeah. Since we're just starting, it's kind of like we only accept Discover, but stars. So 5. That's cinco.
So are you saying that Discover is the 5-star card?
No. We're not sponsored by Discover. No, I just feel like there's some places where, I don't know, I watched the Discover commercial on the football finale and they're like 95%.
We take Discover, blah, 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 blah.
They're like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah. That's stuck in my head. Yes. 95% accepted. Or accepted in 95% of places. Anyways, sentences that make sense. So yeah.
Yeah.
Rate us.
Like us. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe please, so I don't have to keep posting updates. That'd be really great. A lot of less work on our plates as far as updating our media, just make our jobs a lot easier.
Do it yourselves. You're adults.
Yeah,
you're millennial adults.
I mean, yeah. You know how social media works. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that all sounds good.
Let's do it.
Bye.
Ugh, my neck.